Self-discipline is not punishment. It is not deprivation. It is not a harsh sentence imposed on your life. It is freedom in its most powerful form. It is the ability to govern yourself rather than be governed by impulse. It is the quiet decision you make when no one is watching, when there is no applause, no reward, and no immediate payoff. It is choosing what you want most over what you want now. This single choice repeated daily shapes the entire course of a life. Every meaningful life is built on this principle. Without discipline, talent fades into regret. Without discipline, potential becomes a burden rather than a gift. Dreams remain trapped in the mind, vivid but untouched by reality. You can see the vision clearly and still never move toward it. Discipline is what turns vision into motion. It is what gives direction to desire and weight to intention. You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your daily habits. This is not philosophy. It is law. The small things you do consistently outweigh the rare moments of inspiration. What you repeat becomes who you are. Look at your life honestly without excuses or explanations. The direction you are moving is not an accident. It is the result of repeated choices, many of them so small you barely notice making them. Discipline is the bridge between intention and reality. It is what carries an idea from thought into form. It is the voice that says do it anyway. When comfort begs you to stop, it is choosing effort over ease, structure over chaos, and purpose over pleasure. Comfort feels good in the moment, but it quietly steals the future. Discipline may feel demanding now, but it gives back time, clarity, and self-respect. Most people wait for motivation. They wait to feel ready, inspired, or confident. Disciplined people do not wait. They act without motivation. Motivation is emotional. Discipline is structural. One depends on mood. The other depends on decision. Motivation rises and falls. Discipline remains. One changes with the weather, the other stands like stone. If you want to change your life, do not start with grand promises or dramatic declarations. Do not swear to become someone new overnight. Start with small, unbreakable commitments. Start with actions so modest they seem almost insignificant, yet solid enough to repeat. One promise kept to yourself is worth more than 1,000 intentions spoken aloud. Each kept promise strengthens your identity. Each broken one weakens it. Discipline is not built in one heroic moment. It is not forged in a single act of willpower. It is built quietly in ordinary days through consistent action when quitting would be easier and no one would blame you for stopping. It is built when you choose to show up tired, to continue when bored, and to finish when distracted. That is where transformation begins. Not in intensity, but in consistency. Not in perfection, but in persistence. Discipline does not limit your life. It expands it. It removes chaos, replaces doubt with trust, and turns effort into momentum. When discipline becomes your foundation, freedom is no longer something you chase. It is something you live. Time does not negotiate. Time is the one resource you cannot save, borrow, or replace. Once it moves, it is gone forever. It does not pause for uncertainty or slow down for hesitation. It advances whether you act with purpose or remain still. Every sunrise is a silent reminder that you are being given another chance. And every sunset quietly asks what you did with it. Time never argues, never explains, and never returns what was wasted. Self-discipline begins the moment you stop treating time casually. When you respect time, your life gains structure. When you misuse it, your life drifts. Wasted time is not just lost minutes. It is lost potential, lost growth, and lost contribution. It is the skill you never mastered, the strength you never built, the impact you never made. Time wasted today compounds into regret tomorrow. Ask yourself how often you trade your future for temporary comfort. How often you choose ease over effort, distraction over focus, delay over action. How many days slip by without intention, blending into one another until weeks disappear unnoticed. This is not accidental. It is the result of unguarded time. Discipline is learning to see time clearly, not as something abundant, but as something finite. Discipline is learning to honor time as sacred. It means recognizing that every hour has value whether you use it or not. It means structuring your day instead of reacting to it. When you react, your time is controlled by circumstances. When you structure, your time serves your purpose. Discipline is deciding in advance what deserves your energy instead of letting impulse decide for you. When you control your time, you control your direction. Time determines what grows and what withers. Whatever you give time to expands. Whatever you neglect fades. Without discipline, days blur together, filled with activity, but lacking progress. You stay busy yet remain unchanged. With discipline, each day becomes a brick placed carefully in a larger design. Progress may be slow, but it is deliberate. The disciplined person understands that small actions repeated daily shape destiny. There is no single moment that defines a life. There are only patterns repeated long enough to become identity. A focused hour each day outweighs occasional bursts of effort. Consistency transforms ordinary time into extraordinary results. You do not need more time. You need more intention with the time you already have. Everyone is given the same passing hours, but not everyone uses them with the same respect. Intention turns time into a tool rather than a burden. It gives meaning to routine and direction to effort. When you wake up with purpose, time becomes an ally instead of an enemy. Respect time, and it will reward you with progress. Guard it, and it will multiply your efforts. Invest it wisely, and it will return growth, strength, and clarity. Disrespect it, and it will quietly move on without you. Indifferent to excuses and unmoved by regret. Time does not negotiate. It does not wait until you feel ready. It does not adjust itself to your comfort. It simply moves forward. The question is not whether time will pass. The question is whether you will rise to meet it with discipline or allow it to slip away unnoticed, carrying your potential with it. The war within. Every day there is a quiet battle taking place inside you. It begins the moment you wake and follows you through every decision, every pause, every choice to act or delay. One side seeks comfort, ease, and familiarity. It wants safety, repetition, and the path already known. The other side seeks growth, challenge, and progress. It demands effort. It asks you to step beyond what feels natural. Self-discipline is choosing which voice you obey. The hardest enemy you will ever face is the version of yourself that wants to stay the same. This enemy does not announce itself loudly. It does not threaten or attack. It whispers. It feels reasonable. It speaks in logic and caution. It tells you to wait until conditions improve, to rest a little longer, to start tomorrow when things feel easier. Discipline recognizes that tomorrow is often a disguise for never. This inner resistance is not weakness. It is human nature. The desire to conserve energy and avoid discomfort is wired deeply within you. But growth does not occur in comfort. It never has. Growth requires discomfort. There is no way around it. No shortcut, no exception. Anything that expands must endure pressure. Muscles grow by resistance. Character grows the same way. When you feel resistance, that is not a signal to retreat. It is not a warning that you are doing something wrong. It is evidence that you are standing at the edge of change. Resistance appears precisely where growth begins. If you never feel it, you are likely repeating what you already know, staying within limits that no longer challenge you. Discipline is learning to recognize resistance not as an enemy, but as a marker of progress.